Good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. This is Yogi saying hello to you from London. And it's 8:36. Pretty civilized, not too bad at all. And I'm ready for a spot of stitching. I hope you are too. And today we're stitching this piece. So this is a piece from Heaven and Earth, and it's called, let me double check. I should know. Mini, the O crop room. So it's an extremely beautiful piece, and this is from an artist called Chiro Machetti. Okay, I'm doing my best and make it sound Italian as much as I can. And let me show you the full markup here. Look at this glory. So it's full of things I absolutely love. There are yarns, fabrics, and dresses, and a sewing machine, I ask you. So this is one of those pieces that really brings me a lot of joy just looking at the markup. So I'm really looking forward stitching this piece today. And this piece, let me quickly bring it back here. I started earlier this year when I started experimenting with 10 stitches, and then in the process, and I decided, so first of all, this is a 22 count fabric. And so it's the same fabric count as the other piece from the same, from a different artist, the Dry Flowers. Some of you might have seen me stitching that one. And it's the same fabric count, but on Dry Flowers, I'm doing the 10 stitches, 2 over 1, 10 stitches. With this one, I'm going 4 stitches. So think about what happens on the fabric. We're talking about doubling the material on the same fabric count. So one of the challenges of this piece is to find a stitching method that is going to allow the stitches to breathe as you stitch. So the method I'm choosing, method of choice, so to speak, is whatever I do is allow some space underneath the stitches without clouding, sort of packing stitches around the stitches. That's the key. So no boxed in stitches. Yes, pretty much. That's the only rule. And I'm not particularly going diagonal. I'm going top to bottom, whichever makes sense. And then from left to right. That's kind of the general direction. So with that, I'm going to just quickly look at the chat here. Hello, Janelle. Good morning. And Rose as well. Hello. I hope you're well. And let me know what you're stitching today if you're stitching. And I'm going to just quickly zoom in a bit closer. The great thing about doing full stitches on this fabric count is just look at how full these stitches are. They look like little beads. They're the beautiful color beads on the fabric. It's absolutely beautiful. So let me zoom in a little bit more here. And just to echo with a quote room, the craft room theme, I've got a sewing machine, my needle minder here, and a beautiful flowery one on the left. And so in terms of method, I'll be parking with this method and doing row by row, and maybe occasionally I'll stack the stitches, but generally I'm going to go row by row. I think that's the best I find for this piece so far. So let me zoom in a little bit, and hang on, let me just show you something here in case you noticed. So on the top of the frame here, you might see some sort of fabric, cotton fabric, peeking through. And what happens is when I decided to stitch this piece, I use some leftover fabric. That's just enough for the work itself, but not quite enough for the margin. So what I did was I simply sew a piece of fabric on top of the Ada, and then just use that. You can see my sewing. Hand sewing isn't my forte, so that's the way it is. So let me zoom in so you can see these beautiful stitches here. They're so rich and so velvety, the entire piece. And of course, before I do that, I forgot. I'm going to show you my app here. So just to show you where I am with this piece here. So if I zoom out, this is a mini piece. Okay, so we're talking about 6 pages and a little bit. And probably, you know, if you think about 7 pages, it's about correct. And currently, I'm on 2.5. So I've just started this project earlier this year. And then from 0 stitches, I'm going to see how far I can go, and 1 stitch at a time. So stitching method like this. And also such full stitches really requires a little bit of care and patience. And I'm ready for it. So let me pop my tablet on my stand there and zoom in here for you, and maybe bring up a little markup here. Let me see if I can maybe bring it down here so you can see it properly. How's that? And here we go. I've been thinking about this piece since maybe this morning when I said, well, maybe today's the day for this piece. And the more I think about it, the more excited I got. That's normally the case. Normally the case. And let me just bring my little sewing machine here. So I think I'm going to work a little bit on the upper right there. So this has crossed the page border. And I'm quite keen to maybe make this sort of end part of where I'm working right now and bring it down in a straight line if I can. Just use that 2 more stitches on this block here. So maybe use that as the end point for this stage. For this piece, so there's some sort of order to it rather than just continuously spreading outwards, because each piece I kind of have different feel in terms of how I want to approach it. I don't have the same set of rules for everything. Hey Sarah, oh okay, yes, thank you for saying hello. Hope everything's okay. You're going to the doctor, and good luck with that, whatever you were checking there, and hope you come back to us very soon. And Janelle says, I'm stitching Shaped Wolf from Greg Giordano. Okay, from Head Large, from Haid, large format. Okay, so super size or regular. And Janelle is at 36.54%. Every digit counts, absolutely. I'm gonna have a quick Google later on to see what the piece looks like. I'm very curious. Oh, Sarah's got issues with the shoulders. Yes, get that looked after for sure and come back to us. We'll be missing you. And so let's do it. This beautiful burgundy is so beautiful. And maybe I'm going to move my sewing machine up a little bit so it doesn't get in the way. And I'm thinking maybe move the markup to the left, right? Makes more sense. And then with my sewing machine over here. How's that? Good. Let's do it. So I'm going to pick up this color here. In fact, I'm going to fill up these two as well. I don't know why I stopped here. Maybe it was a page break. I removed the page break here because I'm not going to follow pages with this piece. So what I'm going to do is just to stitch this one. And I need to remember to do a full stitch because so easily that I just accidentally just do half stitch, 10 stitch. Without doing the other leg, because sometimes when I look at a stitch, if it looks pretty full, I kind of just assume it's done. So gotta remember that. So today I had two really wonderful classes I taught, and after the second class, because those two classes are back to back in the morning from 10 o'clock. And let me have a sip of my coffee. Let me get this color, 3350. 3350. Let's have a look. My big book here. 3350. Let me find it first. There you go. I can just pull one strand out here. So those classes are back to back every Wednesday, and there's 15 minutes of break in between to switch people around. But a lot of people do both of them. Because they want a longer session. And it was so lovely. By the second class, the end of the second class, there was a student that I never seen before, a male student, and he just came to me because I kind of noticed a little bit during the class that he looked quite emotional, and because sometimes you can sense the energy of a student as you teach. You can sense whether they're agitating or they're really in the flow, or just a kind of vibe from the person. So you try to guide them. If someone is fidgeting a lot or eyes kind of looking around and not able to kind of stay calm, so to speak, you give them, not directing at them, but you kind of just give out general reminder and guidance. Kind of just go, come to your breath or still the mind, along those lines. And I kind of noticed this student, I could feel that there's something going on there. And but I just went on teaching. I didn't try not to overthink. And at the end of the class, he came to me. I could see his tears kind of welling up a little bit. And he came to me and he held my hands. And it was quite sweet. He was probably new to my class, so he didn't know my name. And he just addressed me as teacher. He was, "Thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher." And he just held my hands and he just looked at me. And his eyes were welling up. Oh, I didn't know what to do. I just said to him, "You're welcome, well done." And that was all I could, the only things that could come out of my mouth. It's very humbling. So he must have gone through some sort of process in his, internally. And the thing is, you never know what they carry, what people carry on their shoulders when they walk into the studio every time. Because as a teacher, there's a danger of you kind of just go into not autopilot as such. You just take it as everybody's just the same place as you. You know, you just come in to do some exercise or, you know, find some relaxation. But, you know, some people might have gone through certain things that you're not aware of. And they want to come here to find whatever they, you know, you never know what they're looking for. And it's not my job to figure out what students are looking for. You know, it's not a teacher's place to second guess that. And but you know, it shouldn't be surprising that people go through things, and it seems like he was able to find something with the practice today, and it was a special moment there, So, and it was so gracious of him to express that. He could have just walked away, you know. It would have been absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there are so many students, they make a point of coming to you and tell you that they enjoy the class, or they kind of gratitude toward a teacher, and yeah, it's a special thing. It's not something you should be expecting as a teacher, but when it happens, it's beautiful. So I hope that our student will keep coming back and keep practicing, you know, and I can definitely relate to kind of a similar experience when I went through a lot of the challenges in life. Maybe, you know, losing loved ones. That can do a lot, you know, to you as a person. And as you know, it's a human thing to want to find answers. And sometimes people find relief and healing through yoga. You know, it could be other things, you know. I think stitching is a really nice one. But I think it's about knowing that, you know, you can find relief wherever you are in the mind. Whatever challenges, you know, you go through, you can always, there's always opportunities for healing. And this one over here, I am going to work on these ones first, see where they take me. So today, London actually rained a little bit, which is nice relief. Never thought I'd say that. It rained a little bit, not too much. So it cooled things down a little bit, which is kind of nice balance. Because it hadn't rained for a while, so, you know, you kind of start to worry that even simple things like, you know, the squirrels in my neighborhood, can they even find water? So I've been placing a bowl of water outside by the window, and they drink it. So there probably isn't a lot of water around if it doesn't rain for a while. They're planting little beads, these beautiful little beads. Maybe let me move it down a little. Hey, Big Camry, hello. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well today. Let me park it down here. Now just kind of go around and smooth out these lines wherever makes sense. So in no particular order, which is quite fun to do as well. Because sometimes you want a more structured way of doing it, maybe row by row, really strict. But sometimes your project just goes, just flow with it. It's just one of those days. I just do whatever makes sense. So is it still hot in Germany, Becomry? Oh, so no, sorry, I'm thinking the other person. Adri is from Germany. Becomry is from, remind me where you're from. Because I get mixed up a lot. Because yesterday we were talking about bicycle schemes. And drink of choice today, again, I'm sticking with my Diet Coke and coffee combination. My power drinks for power stitching sessions. And to be honest, I've been drinking coffee pretty much every night in the past few days. No problem sleeping at all. Sleeping like a baby. And probably because the relaxing stitching here. No problem at all. And this one, I'm going to take it up here. And just park it that way. Ready for me. And A15. A15. I just love these colors, so rich. A15. And I think for dry flower, if you've seen that piece, the style is kind of quite loose and sketch-like. So 10 stitches, just perfect for it. You know, it flows with the style. But this one is so rich and vibrant. So I think 4 stitches, definitely the right choice. Definitely the right choice. Oh yeah, Bicamera is in California, near San Francisco. It's only 22 degrees. It's not, well, 22 is not only 22. Yes, comparing to comparing to 32, but 22 is still pretty warm. But California is like quite warm throughout the year, isn't it? if it wasn't for the earthquake. It would have been a really nice place to live. But you can't have everything. You can't have everything. You know, London or the UK in general, occasionally we have hurricane, but generally not a lot of natural disaster. You know, our disasters tend to be man-made, like terrorism or something along those lines. But each to their own. But I think stuff like that, you know, it does make a place interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure that I'm in the right place. Okay, I forgot to mark these ones. I've already done these ones. Okay, let me mark it on my app. So I'm going to pop this back. A15. It's not needed at this moment. So I'm running out of my 26 needles as well. So I've ordered some more. I ordered the DMC 26. I quite like them. So I'm sticking with it. Becomray says, it can get really cold during the winter, can it? Well, depending on what your definition of cold is, and especially near the bay. But 22 is a very average temperature for us. Yeah, 22 is nice and mild. Not too hot, not too cold. Very nice. So cold for California or where you are, San Francisco, let me guess. 12, 8, and we're talking Celsius, right? Because I know I always get confused. I don't know the conversion of Fahrenheit. Why do they make it so complicated? Why can't everybody just use the same measurement and everything else? That'll make life a lot easier. And particularly with cooking as well. I think some countries, North America, tend to use cups. And over here we use measurement, the actual grams. So, you know, cups for me could be big, could be small. So it's always tricky when I get recipes from the US. I have to figure out in terms of quantity. But I think quite a lot of recipe makers, they know the audience is global. So they tend to include the grams as well, which is nice. But when I watch American cookery programs, they will say 2 cups this, or 1 bar of butter. I really don't know how big a bar of butter is. No idea. And so I'm going to park it down here. Oh, I'm loving it. It's so nice to stitch. It stitches like velvet. Oh no, 15 Celsius is what we consider cold. Over here, that's a good day. That's a very good day. Very mild. Very mild day. Very mild and warm. Oh, Yeah, I was wondering because if you're, you must have converted it for me. That's so kind of you, because I was aware that you know generally is Fahrenheit over there. And I'm going to just pick up this one. You can never have enough needles. So Wednesday is a weird one for me because normally, for some reason in my mind, it marks the end of a week. I think for most people, it may be weekends, but probably because I'm a yoga teacher, so weekends is actually pretty busy. It's working days. You know, Saturday, Sunday, they tend to be working days. But Wednesday, so tomorrow I have a rest day, according to my timetable right now, which is nice. So maybe that's why that in my mind I kind of mark it as my rest day, kind of the day before a break. And I'm always surprised when it's a Wednesday because I always feel like, where has time gone? It's another Wednesday again. And let me have a look. Yes. Warming up to it. Oh, so beautiful. This. And yesterday, we were talking about the typewriter method, and so the OG for the typewriter method, stitching method, is I don't know her name unfortunately, but it's a channel called Stitching Mummy, and it's a lovely lady there. And so I went to have a look. I looked up, and I found a video of the tutorial. So I think I probably have misunderstood the method. And because as I was watching that tutorial video, I realized I've seen that video before. I remember it because the lady does a lot of hand sewing as well, which is very interesting. I had seen that video, but it just didn't register in my head in terms of the name of the method. So when people mention typewriter method, in my mind, I was thinking about typewriter. Well, Bikamari probably cannot remember. Well, not very familiar with typewriter. She's still in college, so she probably grew up with computers. But people used to use typewriter. Let me educate you there, Bikamari. There is such a thing as typewriter, and oh, let me just get this thread here. 150 before I forget. And typewriter in my mind would be one row at a time. That's how the typewriters print, isn't it? So I think that's when the wires kind of got crossed there in my mind. I was thinking row by row. And technically, typewriter method is kind of row by row, but not really. So I watched the video carefully. So what happens is the typewriting part is really just allowing the stitcher to not having to worry about which symbol to go next. So essentially you go from the first symbol, but once you pick the symbol from upper left, wherever you are, the highest point on the upper left, you cross country downwards. So that's when I got confused, because I was thinking that you're supposed to stick with one row at a time, but you don't. That's not what the method is about. It's about kind of the method picks the symbol for you, the next symbol. You follow from left to right until you run out of symbols, everything is stitched, and you come down, so on and so forth. But essentially, once you pick the symbol you want to work with, you cross country downwards. So mini cross country or slightly longer is probably up to the stitchers. But you just stitch till the thread runs out, or till there's no symbols in the proximity, in the nearby area. And then you stop. You switch the next symbol next, on the row to the right. So I'm glad I got that clarified. Let me quickly have a look. Rose says, I work today and tomorrow, then get 3 rest days. Wow, wonderful. Looking forward to starting the Vintage Baker to work on the Jelly World. Wonderful. Oh, Vintage Baker is beautiful. That's the project we worked on yesterday, or I worked on yesterday. And I worked on it and you watched. Okay. I love that piece. It's so whimsical. It makes me want to rush to the kitchen and bake something, whatever it is. And Rose asks, which method of stitching do you like best? Do you use a variety of stitching method so you don't get bored? Latter. That's a quick answer for you. Yes, I know my mind could get fatigued and bored very quickly. That's just how my mind works. So for me, variety is the key. Different project, different method, and I'll change different methods within the project from time to time. It's not unusual at all. So everything is to, it also allows me to learn new techniques, right? And then eventually I know what works for me, what doesn't. I'm not married to any kind of rules or methodology. Ultimately, if I enjoy it, I do it. That's it. Simple. So let me just make sure I know where I am. Oh, Joyce is back with us. Joyce is in the chat. Stitchy Dutchy. Good to see you. Good to see you, Joyce. Hope you're well. Are you stitching today with us? 1, 2, 1, 2. Done. So variety is the key for me. And I love the fact that every piece, it depends on, basically for me, when I choose a sort of design for me, I choose the world I want to enter. So as you're stitching, for instance, a quilt room or a kitchen or whatever it is, I'm there. I'm in that space. And it makes it so fun. And each stitch is allowing you to create that world right in front of your eyes. I can see it happening right here on my fabric. You know, it's not just a mock-up, it's right here. I'm making it happen. So with the typewriter method, because up to yesterday, I was thinking maybe this piece would be a good candidate for that method, because this piece requires that space for each stitch because they're so full. But having reviewed the method, at least according to, you know, the OG, the purest concept of the method, is probably not right for this piece, because the lady actually demonstrated a project she was working on using the method. You do create a lot of boxed in stitches, because as you stitch down, essentially you're cross-country stitching. So you will have random sort of stitches in random locations, and it will create probably too many boxed in stitches for my liking. So I'll have to think about that to see whether I have other projects that would be benefited by that method. But it's an interesting one to try, for sure. And it's just interesting that I actually had seen that video before, maybe a couple of years ago, even longer. I think that video has been around for over 3 years. I saw it at some point. Right, Joyce is stitching on the bedtime story, a gift she's creating for her future grandchild. It's a beautiful piece. Yeah, I saw the crown as well. I have no idea. I think it means you've won some sort of award for being the top commenter of this channel. Yes, you have a crown, and Rose has a crown as well. Sarah has a crown. So you're winners. You've all been knighted. I'm going to have to start calling you, address you accordingly with your proper titles. Yes, going off comments. That's it. That's it, Joyce. YouTube is always doing new things. I can't keep up. Oh yeah, just missed this one from Joyce. The confusing typewriter method. Yes, it's all about color selection, always on the top left stitch for the next color to pick. Yes, that's when the analogy of typewriter kind of caused a little bit of confusion in my mind, because I was thinking about the actual stitching order rather than color selection. And you're quite right. Ultimately, it's about, you know, just follow the top left symbol that's unstitched as your next selection. But in terms of how you stitch is cross country. One more here. Yes, you're queens. You're queens of the channel. You're queen commenters of the channel. Congratulations, ladies. And I'm gonna park it down right here. And it's amazing that just by stitching 4 stitches, it's the same fabric, 22 count, exactly the same fabric, and I'm using CXC as well, if I haven't mentioned already. But it feels so different from dry flowers, and the method is different, and also one is 10 stitches, 10 stitch, and this is full cross, but it feels like just totally different stitching experience, and I love it. We're never bored. Yeah, Joyce says, I mentioned this method before referring to typewriter method, but didn't know that you're not on Facebook. Have you heard of Fold and Frolic? No. Yeah, I'm kind of not, I haven't been on Facebook much by choice. Once upon a time I do have an account, but it's just the Facebook has become very kind of difficult to use, very crowded, and also I'm slightly wary about their privacy policies there. It's just it's not a very honest organization. I know they own Instagram as well, so I have Instagram, but you know, I might have to bite the bullet, go back to Facebook, because maybe a group would be nice for the channel. So because people want to post their work, I'd love to see your work, and Facebook might be the best forum, best platform for that. And this one, I'm going to move it up here and park it upwards. So explain to me what the Field and Frolic is. So 2 stitches here. I'm going to end this thread. It's getting a little bit short. Just 1 stitch here. And to end the thread for this piece, I'm going to use my favorite tuck-in method. Hey, Steve. Welcome. Joy says, Phone and Frolic is a bit halfway between Royal Roll and cross country. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to work it in my head how that would be. So Royal Roll, you have two vertical blocks, well, two blocks stacked on top of each other. And do you cross country within those two blocks? Is that what it is? I love new methods. Or maybe it's not new, but new to me. 3064. 3064. Here we go. A lovely beige. Brown, light brown. There we go. Maybe made this one a little bit smaller here. Because as far as I can I have seen so far with Royal Rolls, the people stitching the method, some of them go row by row from top to bottom, and some of them I've seen people doing color completion as another way. I presume you can do cross country as well within mini cross country, so you don't have to complete one color at a time. You can just flow from top to bottom within the two blocks. I suppose that will work. And I'm going to part down, try to stitch in order so that all the stitches are nice and flat. It's very tempting just keep going forward, but I'll probably regret it. 413, 413. There you go, I've got one thread here. So I'm going to focus on this bit a little bit more. The other cushion, the top of it. So the areas for the cushions, it gets a little bit more confetti. So this is where this method really come into play. Because if you start cross country from here, you're gonna be in trouble, or I'm gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be too jammed together. It's all the stitches. And the next one is actually down here. Let me see, we have one here. Very naughty. I didn't mark this one. Nice one, Joyce. I'm gonna do these 2 stitches. I'm gonna stop and look at your instruction there. Joyce is our stitching in-house Wikipedia. There we go. So Joyce says, first step, define your fill. So we're talking about the frolic and what is it called? Filled and frolic. Define your fill. This is your main working area until it's completed. So we're talking maybe 2 blocks on top of each other. And Joy says I usually use 10 by 10, okay? But sometimes I use 10 by 20 or something else. That makes sense for a particular pattern, okay? And then, okay, so the area that you're working on can be user-defined, okay? And start with the color on top left corner of your field and fill in everything of that color. Okay, color complete, okay? When you get to the end, you probably have more thread left. Ah. Right, so do you park when you finish the thread? Do you then park wherever you want to? If you follow the royal roll, for instance, you probably park down first. So I'm trying to figure out, oh, I see. So once you color complete, oh, interesting, interesting. Okay, so you do the color complete, everything looks relatively, well, conventional is not a word, but at least it's recognizable in terms of the method. You color, well, let's take an example. Let's just stick with 1 block, right, to keep it simple. 10 by 10, 1 block. And you, and then you pick the upper left, sort of the highest stitch that hasn't been unstitched symbol, upper left. And then you pick that color, start color complete within the block, 10 by 10 block. Once you've done that, if you have thread left, you're allowed to go crazy, right? Is that what it is? Ooh, how interesting. Okay, so you can go crazy and go wherever you like with that thread around the area. Ha! Huh. But once the thread runs out, that's it. End of the farming work. I love it. Whoever came up with it, hats off. Okay, right. And then once you finish the thread, go back to the field being that 10 by 10 block, and pick up the next color. Okay, repeat the process, filling all of that color in the field before heading up a bit of frolic. I love it. The person must be some sort of farmer. Oh my God. I've never heard of this one before. Nice one, nice one. I like it. I like it so far. It sounds like fun. So you can, you have to stick with the rules, but if you have some thread left, you can go a little bit nuts. Ooh, nice balance there. Work and play, right? 1, 2, 3. 1. Once you get your homework done, you can go out and party. I like that. Well, really well explained. Thank you, Joyce. Fully planted, move to the next fill and continue the process. So let's say if you go crazy, right? And just end up stitching a lot on the next block. So I suppose when you move to the block to the right, there will be the block will be partially stitched. And then, but you just stick with the upper left, whichever symbol that is, and then keep repeating the same process. Oh, so you don't park, you just stitch till you drop, till the thread ends. Okay, party till you drop. Okay, I get it. It's by Hannah Vlog. Is she on YouTube? That's a very interesting way of doing it. Oh, I might give it a go. I like the sound of it. I like the party till you drop, no parking. So keep going. It'll be interesting to see what you end up with in terms of where the stitches go. And it will be very different every time. I like it. I like it, Joyce. I'm going to try it in the next session. Live here on Slow Stitch Yogi channel. And if you like to watch me party with my threads, please come back and visit me next session. But stay here where you are. Don't go just yet. 5:50. 5:50. Oh, I like it. Is that every time I thought, well, I've seen everything. And lo and behold, there's another method. I love it. Maybe it's good that I'm not on Facebook, so I'm constantly surprised. Because I'm just not very informed. I might give it a go. Steve says, I like the sound of the message. Maybe pulling out my full color. Whoa, for full coverage soon, yes. Go on then, Steve. You know you wanna. You know you wanna. And for those of you who want to fill and what's the method called again? Fill and frolic? Yes. If you want to fill and frolic, come back tomorrow. Let's do it together. And then see what happens. Whether we end in tears of joy or tears of something else. Live here. That got me excited now. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there's one underneath. Okay, so I do need this one. I need to stitch in order. I'm such a messy person. Here. I'm going to pick up this one. 902. Oh, is that what your piece called? Oh, are you calling me? Yes, it's my job. Here to corrupt you all. So you just end up stitching like a lot of projects, more than you can ever handle in your lifetime. and my job will be done. Yes, Steve, you're quite right. That's my middle name, a very long middle name. I'm going to just park next to it because there's another part thread on top, so it doesn't get jammed. Let me see, where's my border here? One, two here. Trying to sort out these part threads. I haven't marked them properly. It's just me being messy. Okay, I know where it is now. Touch. Joy says, with 35 colors in the blog, that's brutal. It takes a long time before the fill will be planted, but then you can party afterwards. There's something to look forward to. Hard work and then party. So that's your reward. Let me move down here to the left a little bit. So I can organize this thread. Hey, Adri, welcome back. How are you today? Adri just came back from work. That's pretty late for work. You're in Germany, right? So what time is it over there? I think it's about the same. UK's in the summertime, so we're 1 hour ahead than usual. But Germany is normally, I think, 1 hour. Is it 2 hours ahead? 1 hour. Oh, so happy to have you. Oh, an airport. Did you have to fly today? Are you a pilot? No, I'm kidding. Oh, you might be. Who knows? Such a rich, rich blue here. Royal blue. Let me see. Oh, it's this one. I'm going to stitch. Well, actually, I'm going to park down here. Everybody's got a crown. Amazing. You're winners. Oh, so Adri works as a check-in agent at the airport? Oh my God. Amazing. I might bump into you at some point. If I go to... Oh no, you're in Germany, aren't you? So getting confused. I was about to say, maybe if I fly from Heathrow next time, I'll bump into you. No. Maybe not. Oops, this one's a little bit tricky. The colors are very similar. And I'm going to stitch this one below here. Why not? It's beautiful little beads. And then the next one would be 4 down from here. Let me see if I can count properly. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's worth counting one by one because sometimes when I eyeball it, I just get it wrong. It's just the way it is. Ah, Adri says, just let me know when you come by. I can pick you up from the gate. Oh, special service. How nice. The people from all walks of life, they stitch. You know, on the chat alone, we have Steve, who is specialist in woodwork. And we also have a nurse. And what else have we got? Got all sorts. But stitching unites everyone together. And I'm a yoga teacher, so there you go. I'm trying to use this thread I have already, but then I stitch out of order. Never mind, I'll just plant another thread here. Let's not fight. A15, H15. And then the Camrys, she's a student, college student. Betty, hello. Oh my God, Camry, hang on. You're a math student. Oh my God, mathematics is like, it doesn't make sense to me. And Betty, hello. I used to be a professional plumber. There you go. Plumbers. They make very good living, at least in the UK. They charge very healthy hourly rates. Very good. So we've got a plumber in house as well. Whoops. Audrey says, I just purchased some stick and stitch. What is that? It will come tomorrow because I have some intricate embroidery patterns that needs to be transferred. What's a stick and stitch? And she also asked, what are you currently working on? So this is a piece called, I need to remind myself, I should know by now, the Old Craft Room. So it's by an artist called Ciro Marchetti. Sounds Italian to me. I'm just guessing. So I've got several pieces, it turned out, to by the same artist. And I didn't realize, I just love the style. But I never looked up the artist's name till recently. So I'm glad I did. because the artist's name should be mentioned. So beautiful. And then I'm going to pop it down here. Oh, Joyce, she was a functional application manager until she retires a few months ago, only a few months ago. What is a functional application manager? Is it IT related? It sounds a little bit IT to me. Functional application. Oh, Edgar says the stick and stitch is water soluble, soluble, water soluble stabilizer. Is it like a starch type of thing? And Joy says she's got this particular pattern too, but not in mini. And you haven't started it. Oh wow! I can imagine this pattern will work really well for full size as well, because it's got so much going on. And I'm trying to think when I got this pattern, maybe at the same time as the other minis, because minis, the mini versions, I think I got them in a kind of slightly earlier stage of my full coverage journey, so to speak, because at that time I thought, well, there's just no way I'm going to work on a full version. Let me just start from here. So I got a whole bunch of mini patterns, and turned out I kind of just parked them because I just got distracted by full versions and max colors, etc. But now I'm coming back to these smaller pieces. They're so beautiful because depends on the design. Some work really well, mini. And this piece, as far as I can see, is perfect. Nice and cozy. And maybe I get to finish them at some point. There's more likelihood, higher chance for me finishing them, the mini pieces. Just talking about probability here. You know, who knows? Who knows? But mini, we're still talking about 7 pages worth of stitching. And the pages tend to be bigger with Heaven and Earth. You know, Gecko Rouge pages are smaller for some reason. So it really depends on the company. Oh, so I was correct. Application manager is very much IT. Yes, it does sound like it might be kind of in that category. Okay, it's a paper sticker. So Adri is referring to the stick and stitch. It's a paper sticker. You can print on your pattern, stick on the fabric, and once you're done, you wash it, it dissolves. Oh, I see. I see. I might have some in my drawer that I use. Not quite the same. I'm not quite the same. I'm trying to recall. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in my drawer, mysterious items that I can't remember what they're for. You know, sometimes the moments you see something on YouTube or something, you go, oh, I'm gonna get some of that from Amazon, and you get it, and you forget how to, forget to use it. Or maybe you use it once. And then after a while, you forget why you have it in the first place. 3A62. Just one stitch. 3A. 6, 2. Just for one stitch, I'm starting a new thread. It's just how we roll. I see. So you can apply it on the fabric to make it more stiff, I presume, and then you can wash it, and it dissolves, kind of like a starch for fabric, I'm guessing. Huh. Okay, so Joyce has got another piece by Chiro Machete, Oracle of Vision Party. Ah, okay. Yeah, because I had a look on the Heaven and Earth with this artist, and most of his work nowadays tend to be more fantasy themed. A lot of kind of angels and that kind of stuff. So I presume just from the sound of the title is probably more along those lines. One stitch here. And it's very, I'm presuming it's a he. Chiro sounds like a male name. I could be wrong. But the artist is very prolific. There are tons and tons of patterns by him, by the same artist. Just one stitch. Let me have a look. Oh, I can pop down actually. There is more. Here. And another one. Just one stitch here. 3722. 3722. The cushion area involves a little bit more colors. 3722. One more here. Oh, Betty asks, do you have a video of how you set up your threads? Do you mean the thread organizers? Or do you mean parking? When you say set up your threads. If you're referring to organizers, there is a clip on the video section. It's a quick demo. It's not even a tutorial, just to show how my thread organizer work, and how I go about using them, type thing. But at some point, I might do a step-by-step tutorial, because a lot of people ask about the organizer. And it's quite easy to make, actually, and it's quite cheap to make. So I think would be useful, and you can really load tons of threads on organizers and it still works quite well. Like the CXC floss I'm using right now, the book is very, very thick, but it's still working fine. It's very versatile in that sense. So you can park your needles, park your thread. It's very efficient. And I like efficiency. One, two, three. Yes, in that case, if you're thinking about the organizers, there's a video under the video section, not the live session. The different tabs. So on the videos tab, you'll be able to find that. Oh, another single stitch. 738, 738. 738. I can just quickly show you here. So it's really, really simple. Maybe I zoom out a little bit more and maybe move this away for a moment. Just a quick thing. You can look up the video, but really just, if you think about it, it's just a whole bunch of thread cards. And you put your thread through. And what I do is I put a piece of felt, just use fabric glue, and then stick on top. I've got tons of felt, so I just cut a strip there, and then that's it. You can either part the thread alone like this, just the this is attached to a needle, but you can just thread the strand, you know, the thread through and free the needles, or you can just part the needles, however you want to use it. And you can tell I've got whole, like, really thick, you know, collection here because it's a full set of CXC. And underneath, I have to give credit to the lady from Stitching Masterpieces. I borrowed the idea from her because when I was using just the thread cards alone, I actually bind at the upper left corner. You can see this empty hole here. So I used to bind this corner and just open up like this way, like a book. And it worked fine. The only problem was after a while, the threads underneath, they sort of catch a bit of fluff and dust sometimes if you leave them out. And so I borrowed the idea. She's so clever. She used just ordinary plastic full bags, you know, and they're quite durable, and just pack them in, just tuck them inside for protection. And I just put kind of these flexible ring that you can, you know, bind together to create large different size loop, and then just bind them together. Really, really simple. That's it. That's really it. So at some point I'll do a step-by-step if people are not sure how to make it. But this is something you can just rustle up using a bit of cardboard and some felt, and you've got an organizer that will last you for a long, long time. Yes, Betty, her name, I don't know her name, but the channel name is Stitching Masterpiece and Masterpieces. Yeah, she's fascinating. I love the way she thinks. And she's got her way of creating thread cards as well, so you can follow those. So yes, all credits to her. I love the bag idea. Never occurred to me. Never occurred to me. 738. Oh, but if you look up master, I struggle with the name, stitching masterpieces, there is a video of her putting making the organizer. So have a look at that as well, because you can totally create the organizer her way. She uses sort of smaller sort of card, well, the thread organized, what the thread card part of it, hers is a little bit smaller because she only puts kind of a few pieces of thread at a time, like normal people. But I'm lazy. I like to put the whole lot through the hole, so I have slightly larger punch holes there. So you end up with bigger book, but it works the same. But she does have a tutorial. One, two, three, four, five. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, my pleasure, Betty. Joy says, I like to flip the cards the other way. Do you mean from bottom up? Because I used to turn them from left to right like a book. 3A, 5A. 3A, 5A. Yeah, I think you know, the idea can definitely, the design can definitely be modified to suit the individual needs, because we'll have different habits. And you can just change it, shape it until it works for you. There. Well, Oh, I see. Okay. You could do it that way, Joyce, for sure. 1, 2, 3, 2 up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Just one stitch here. Do I want to pop this color slightly far down the next stitch? My end is thread actually. It's getting a little bit fluffy. And end it. It's got a little bit left, but it's getting a little bit fluffy. So I think it's a good idea to end it and send it to the retirement thread area. Linda, hello. Linda says, hi Yogi, was finally able to catch one of your live streams. Welcome and well done. I'm in New Jersey. Hello, you may be the first one from New Jersey on the chat here. Welcome, Linda. Are you stitching today? If you are, let me know what you're working on. I'd love to know what everybody's working on. You know, I know a lot of people like to kind of just listen to the video or the stream and working in the background, or maybe they're doing something else. But when you have a moment, only if you want to, come on and say hello. And I'm gonna work a little bit on the right there. Start from that one. You can see the little corner of the cushion peeking out here. And even though it's a mini piece, look at how nice these patterns turn out. Just beautiful. And I can't wait to get to the yarns on the shelves. It looks so cozy. One, two. Oops. There's a little bit of fluff here. Let me see if I can remove it. beautiful solid stitches here. Adri asks, where do you get your needle miters? So I'm trying to recall. I think the sewing machine one, this one was from Etsy. There's a vendor there. I can have a look up the vendor name for you if you're interested. And then this one I may have got from a stitching fair that I went to. I'll look up the vendor for you for this one. If just let me stitch these two, because there's some really beautiful ones. On Etsy, it's hit and miss. I have bought some. They look beautiful on the pictures, but when you get them, the magnets just, fell off. Just poorly made. So it really depends on the vendors. And this one is really good, really, really solid. And there's texture on it. It's not just a print. It's an actual, these leaves are coming sort of embossed. So it's very, very pretty. Let me just quickly look at my Etsy and look up the vendor for you. And I think they ship, most of them probably ship everywhere, worldwide, within reason, I think. Let me just have a little looky here. My purchase history. Here we go. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure this one was from Etsy. It was a vendor. Oh, it could be this one. Let me see. I'm trying to look at my purchase history here. It could be this vendor, Botanic Crop Studio, because I bought them from multiple vendors here. Some of the orders are kind of bind together, so just give me a moment, because I'm really happy with their work. Oh, here we go. So I think it's this one. What's the vendor called? Let me have a look. Yes, a Wild Cornflower Studio. This one. They do a lot of really beautiful. So this one right there, the one I've got as well. I'm pretty sure this one is from them as well. They're really well made. Really well made, and that's the important thing, because if you just look at the pictures, they all look nice, but what you want, so it's Wild Cornflower Studio on Etsy. They do a lot of needle miters, so have a look up. I don't know if they do the same ones still, but they're really good quality needle miters. So there you go. So I tend to have 2 needle miters at a time. One will be slightly larger ones that I can put all my needles on, and the other one are part the one I'm using right now. It just kind of flows with me. So this one will follow me wherever I go, and this one stays there with all the needles. Two. 1, 2, 3. Linda says, I'm working on a new start for July. Okay. Oh, we've just started, 2nd of July. It's called Main Claim. What? Stat? I butchered it already. Apologies. By Dorothy Kanzi. Okay. It has total of 21,000 stitches, 298. 21,298 stitches. Fair size. Started yesterday and did my work on it today already. What? You started yesterday and you're on... What? Have I read it correctly? You're on 2,142 stitches on a project you started yesterday. Darling, Linda, are you some sort of a superhuman? Are you a speed stitcher? Are you in some sort of competition? That would have taken me a month to do. And Linda says, just over 10% done. What? You started yesterday. Have I got it correctly? You're 10% done. What? What? Yes, join me with a shocking, with a shocked face. Thank you for the emoji. Yes, my face is just like that. Yes, Becomber says that's amazing. It is. It's absolutely shocking. Linda, I need to know more. What is going on with you? 2,000 in 2 days. Hello? That's correct. Oh, God. That is insane. What fabric count are you working on? And what thread you're using, what method? And also, what drinks are you on? I'm sure I would like some of that. You know, I want to know what power stitchers do in order to stitch so fast. I just need to know. Are you on espresso? Or what's that? An energy drink that a lot of people drink. I can't remember. I know everybody's shocked face. And I'm sure some of you do stitch quite fast. But not like this speed. Oh my God. My brain is going to break. My hands are shaking. Yes. Oh, well, you know, some people are made differently. Some people stitch 150 stitches a day. And some you know, over 1,000 or something like that, or more. Linda says, I normally do mostly full coverage, but couldn't pass this chart by. It's gorgeous. So I'm presuming this is not full coverage. I'm working on 28 count Morning Fog by Stitch With Me. 1/1 full cross. Okay, 28 counts. So the title of the piece is called Morning Fog by Stitch Me. Oh, I might have a look up to see what it looks like. I have to. I think everyone wants to know now. Let's see, let me Google it. By Stitch Me. I presume it's the publisher. Right. Let's have a look. Oh, you're talking about the fabric. I thought it was the name of the piece. No, this is the fabric Linda's using. So this is probably a fabric person, whatever it's called. They color the fabric. I know there's one called is it coffee fabric or something like that in the UK base. Oh, it's a sampler style chart. The piece is by, okay, oh yeah, you did mention it. Totally flew by my brain because let me, yes, you did mention the name. Let me see if I can actually spell it correctly, which is doubtful. And E claim. Is it German or is it, what is it? Oh, hang on. Oh, it is German. It's called My Little Something. Let me find the last word. It's TADT. Okay. It means my little something. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll show you what it looks like. My Little by Dorothy. Okay. Dorothy. I'm struggling with the foreign words. Excuse me. DZT. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. It's not this one, is it? No, that can't be correct. I spelled the last word incorrectly. It just completed for me. KNAD. DZ1. I. Okay. Oh, I see. Is this one My Little Town? Okay, something that looks like this. Linda? That's very sweet. If this is, yes, My Little Town. Very, very sweet. Let me see if I can find a picture of the whole piece. Different versions though, so I have no idea which one's correct. But looks like that one might. Oh, that's it. This is it. But I can't find the picture of the full piece. Let me just click through, see if it will show me. Oh, I see. Okay. Ah, nice. Very nice. And you were 10% done since yesterday. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Now we know what it looks like. That's amazing though. Do you always stitch that fast? The top picture is the 4-piece. Very nice. Okay. Very sweet. Very, very sweet. So if you're 10% in 2 days, presuming you're still stitching today, it's only the second day, you can finish it in 10 days, within 2 weeks anyway. That's pretty shocking. Let me see. To the left here. And one more here. Hang on. Okay, 1, 2, the front. And I'm going to end this thread because I don't know which one I'm actually stitching. The colors. I was just so floored by Linda's speed. I got confused with this color. I have no idea which one this is. Linda says, the goal is by the end of the year, I have 25 full coverage pieces. I switch through whenever I get tired of certain color scheme. You have 25 pieces. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the club of multiple webs club. Yes, 25 sounds amazing. So I don't know if I have 25, but close, I think. So I'm not the only crazy person. I have Linda for company. Yes. So you might take a break from time to time. Very sensible. But I think you probably it probably won't be end of the year. Probably end of the month. You'll be done. The way it goes. And there are a couple of samplers I would like to do as well at some point. Kind of just switch around, different way of stitching. Keep everything fresh. Beautiful. 2 down here. And I think I may end this thread. It's getting a little bit short. One stitch here. There's 2 here. I just saw the video today. I think by Gemma, from Gemma Stitches, and she does like monthly update of her work. She's so disciplined though. The piece she's working on is a regular size. Heaven and Earth design. It's a peacock. I can't remember what it's called. And she's about, I think, if I remember correctly, about 70%. 70% done using her method. Because I have one piece, the Granny's craft room, using her method. It's a little bit slower. The stitching is very tidy. I really enjoy it. But generally is on the slower side comparing to cross country. But she's managed to do it so fast. It's amazing. But she doesn't switch around that much. I think she has a couple of other pieces. Occasionally she'll put in a few stitches, but her focus is always one till it's finished. Very disciplined. One, two. Let me just double check the border here. Is it not very clear? Let me bring up the little mark up there. Have a drink. And go over there and start filling in this area. Three 8 6 0. One stitch here. And I'm going to part down 4 from the bottom. And 4 from the right. 1 2 3. One more. 1 2 3 4. A lot of single stitches in this area. 317. 317. Areas like this area right here. That's how this method, row by row, become quite critical, because the stitches are quite full. So if I create any situation that's, then I have to stitch anything that's boxed in, it'll probably be a little bit challenging. 1 2 3 1 2 3 here, 2 from top. There you are. It's worse. being a little bit patient. Another single stitch, 152. And this one, it's a lone stitch. I have nowhere to park afterwards. Just a single stitch. Right here. Release some ending threads in a way that it's not going to create additional bulk at the back, because with some pieces I'll take the thread away and then anchor it about 10 stitches away, you know. That kind of ending, thread ending, is kind of appropriate for, particularly for 10 stitches, because it's much harder to use the tuck-in method like this one here. But it works well with 4 stitches. It just hides the thread, you can't see it, and you don't need to take the thread too far away. So no bulk at the back. 152. Six, 4, 7. 6, 4, 7. This one has a few stitches in area, so that's nice. Joy says, I'm so looking forward to starting my little craft room. Wish I could whip in 2K stitches a day on bedtime story, just get it done. Are you gonna wait till you finish the current piece? And remind me, how far are you away? Because, you know, you could have 2 pieces ongoing. There's nothing wrong with that. Because if it was me, I wouldn't be able to wait. I just can't wait. That's why I have to work on everything at the same time, if I possibly can. Another stitch down here. And 2 more. Amazing. This bit. Right, should I park from here? $155. Beautiful purple. No. 76%. You're not that far away. Amazing. But 76% for a large piece, you know, still a little bit to go. I think the only piece I actually work on consistently for a meaningful period of time would be the Gecko Rouge piece that I stitched the other day. I probably put in some stitches every day for probably about a year consistently, and particularly the first 6 months I was like charging forward because I was so into it. So for a period of time, maybe that was my only piece. I'm trying to recall because I was so focused on it until I got to the point I just felt like needed something else. And then that piece just became part of everything else I'm stitching. See, this bit is getting a little bit more crowded. There's a lot of threads going on. And also CXC is very full body. If you ever tried CXC before, comparing to DMC, it's very, very full, which is a good thing. But it could make the confetti area a little bit more challenging to manage. One stitch here. One stitch here as well. So I'm kind of just flowing with the colors, not following any shape in particular, but one row at a time, no floating stitches. I think I might want to pot down. It's not too far away. 1, 2, 3. There. Joy says, normally I stitch and switch, but now I feel like every stitch I will make on on something else. It's missing progress on bedtime story. Yes, I understand that, because you kind of have a deadline in your mind. You know, you want to. Are you aiming to complete it before the birth of your grandson? Yeah, then I understand that totally. Totally. It's like if you're making something for someone's birthday, clearly you want to finish it before the birthday comes along. That makes sense. If you don't know, Stitchy Dachi is a floss tuber. She's got a beautiful way of stitching. It's so neat and tidy. You can have a look at her channel. I've learned a lot from her. Whoops. One more here. Oh yes, the baby's due by October, which is not that far away at all. So last sprint was 30%. And 340. Another new thread. 340. Another beautiful purpley color. Oh, does Joyce collect teacups? Let me plug it down here. 842. 842. Lots of different colors. 842. Beige. I'm not. Seriously, look up Joy's channel. Her stitching is beautiful. Just 2 stitches here. Oh, I'm gonna park it down here. 2 from the left. No teacups for choice. Well, there's someone out there collecting teacups. And another new color, A27. Ooh, it's getting crowded here like a party. A27. No teacups for Betty either. So my mom used to go to flea markets. She's not sort of hardcore antique hunter, but she loved little sort of trinkets, you know. She didn't collect teacups as such, but she loved saucers. She ended up with tons of sort of antique saucers. She only collected sort of smaller things. And there's some really, really beautiful sort of Victorian or from different periods. Kind of different saucers there. So her room was just full of display of different, you know, different things, really interesting things from the antique market, flea market. And London is really good for that, or UK in general is really good for that kind of things. Oh, Bicamere says, I collect pins. What kind of pins? As in accessories for clothing. Interesting. People collect different things. one more color. It is a party for sure. 931. 931. I've got one going on here. 931. It's getting a little bit trickier. But I kind of knew the cushion, the cushions would be quite confetti. I kind of came in, my eyes open. Let me try again. I want to snip off. And where's the next stitch? Over here. 1, 2. Right there. I may actually stitch it. And I'm going to park it down here. Should be fine. Let's see. Just 2 stitches. Let me have a look. I can't even see the border. Yeah. Let me see. That one. Let's have a look. It's just 2 stitches and I'm going to end it. So one less pass right here. It's getting a little bit exciting here. and one more stitch below. I'm going to do this one and end this thread. Let's see if I can end it over here. In theory, I like to find stitches that are kind of similar in color, but it's not always possible. Whoa, look at this. A lot going on there, but you can see that pointy bit of the second cushion. It's taking shape. Taking shape. Steve says, have you previously done an intro video dispelling such stuff? What are you referring to, Steve? Or are you talking to Joyce? I think I'm going to move to the right a little bit to do a bit of this red background there. And then move back. So you do have a break from confetti from time to time. That's probably a good thing. Hi, Rivers. Welcome. Good to see you. And I'm going to park it down here. Try to stitch in order. Are you, Rivers? Are you stitching today? 815. 815. There you go. So this, the background, there are quite a few color switches as well, but they're not as jam-packed as this area. It's crazy. There's quite a lot going on there. So I'm going to, let me see. I do have one part thread here. Let me snip this off. It's getting a little bit short. So introduce a new thread. Oh, so you're back to Elegance in the Park. Yes, that's a beautiful piece. see, where am I? 1, 2. I think I'm going to start from here. 1, 2, 3. That's weird. Let me have a look. Why do I get 1, 2? Right, I know what's going on there. This stitch is 1 stitch off. It should have been here. But I'm gonna just stitch over it. You can't see it. You probably can't tell anyway. Now that explains it. Thankfully, all these colors are very similar. I'm gonna just stitch this color over. And this one as well. Two more here. Seventy 73%, well, 73.44. Every digit counts. That's amazing. Yeah, one of these days I'll have a piece I can say that it's 70%. That'd be nice. I think double digit would be good because most of them are firmly single digit right now. I might stitch this one down as well. And bring this over here. Two more to the left. It's nice of a few stitches of the same color. Oh, let's have a look. 2, 1. Okay. That over there. And I'm going to pot stitch below. One, two. Yes. I'm going to switch to this color. One stitch here. And I'm going to park 1, 2, 3 there. Nine 902. 902. There you go. The tension of the fabric was quite good in the beginning, but I think because I put that piece of cotton sort of fabric on the piece, so it's not holding as tight as it should be, so it's getting a little bit, it's losing the tension a little bit. So they'll manage. One more stitch here. And I actually tried to switch to, because currently I'm using size 26 needle. I normally use 26 for 2-strand anything. And I try to stitch it with 28 needle because I thought, well, if the stitches are going to get a little bit, crowded together, quite full, then perhaps smaller needles will be able to get through more easily. And no, it just feels like the 28 needles, they don't feel robust enough to get through this amount of material. So I switched back, and it's fine. I think it's only when you get to kind of this kind of area it gets a little bit tricky. I think with any size needle you'll probably have the same challenge, so to speak. And I'm going to stitch the row below as well. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Let me see. I know what's going on there. 2 there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 here. River says, Yogi, every time I think of you, I think of coffee. I am drinking a cup of cold, leftover black coffee as we speak. It's your fault I drink coffee after 4 p.m. Well, that's the thing, because I did try to restrict myself not to have caffeinated drinks, not just coffee, after, let's say, 6 o'clock. But I came to realization that if I'm not tired, if I can't sleep, that's not because of the caffeine, it's because I'm not sleepy. But when I'm sleepy, it doesn't matter how much coffee I drink. I'm still tired. I'm still sleepy. So there you go. So I kind of release myself from that restriction and just drink coffee whenever I want to. The last few days I've been drinking coffee till midnight. I'm fine. I went to bed. I had very good sleep, very sound sleep. So there you go. I can no longer blame caffeine for my, lack of sleepiness. That's just me. I take full responsibility. So you can blame me for that. Oh, Joy says I'm about 200 stitches from page finish. Okay. There'll be a lovely start of the day tomorrow. I'm going to bed now. Yes, of course, from where you are, it's kind of late. So, nighty-night, Joyce. Thank you for joining me for a chat today. And hope to see you soon. Enjoy your sleepy time. Night, night, night. Night, night. Night, night to Joyce. Nighty-night. Yeah, but coffee is just... It tastes so good any time of the day. Any time of the day. Oh, so pretty. And I'm going to go take the thread over to the left there. 1, 2, 3. And make this stitch here. One, 2, 3. There. I'm actually not doing too badly, stitch count wise. I thought it was going to be kind of, it would take a little bit more time because it's quite confetti in some areas. And I'm going to maybe fill up this area here. beautiful blue, sky blue. Oops. Three stitches here. And there's one more stitch below. I might as well do it. Oops. One more stitch here. And I'm going to park just here in the next block. Let's have a look. Okay, that's a single stitch here. 3A 03. 3A 03. One stitch. I'm going to end it. And just tuck it this underneath. Three A 03. 3A 03. hang on. There's one more here. A single stitch of this color. Then I'm going to end it. There. A15. 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 So I'm going to keep going till around midnight here in London. And then I'll show you what I've done today. Look. And I think I'm going to, very tempting, just keep stitching below. I'm going to park. Trying to be a bit more disciplined. And 150. Move it down slightly here. So quite a few stitches with this color for change. stitches like velvet. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to pop it down here. And I think I'm going to go for another color here. Pick this one. Two stitches. One more. I think I'll make this stitch the last stitch today, and I'll show you how many stitches I've done today. 1, 2 here. Right, let's have a look. So today, let me zoom out a little bit. So today primarily I've been working on this little bit here. So it's a second cushion if you refer to the markup here. Let me just quickly bring it up if you haven't seen the full markup. So this piece I started from the upper left, where you can see little cushions picking out of the cupboard there. So if we come back here, you can see this little cushions there. So a little bit to go with this piece, but it's really fun way of stitching. I really enjoy. It's a totally different experience doing 4 stitches on the same fabric count. This is the same fabric count I do. I use on dry flowers, which I do 10 stitches, half stitches, and this is obviously, it's got double amount of material on the fabric, and it's really fun to stitch. It's you know, the confetti area is a little bit trickier to do, so that's why I do row by row in principle, and moving sort of top down, left to right ish, wherever makes sense. But it's been fine. It's CXC is the type of thread, it's quite full body, so it probably adds to the volume of it, which makes it really, really rich. If you look at the stitches, they're so full. And So today, let me show you how many stitches I've done with this stitching method. It would generally take a little bit more time. So my average, it's about just under 200 in most stitching method. So today, let me just zoom out a little bit more here for you. So I've done 172, which is, you know, in the range of average number of stitches that I do within this amount of time. I'm in no way stitching 1,000 a day like Linda and some others. So percentage wise, 2.74. So this is a mini piece, and I've got a little bit more to go if you look at the entirety of the piece here. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the fabric and the yarns, you know, all the goodies on the covers there. So with that, it's 10 to midnight in London, and it's time for me to say goodnight to you, wherever you are. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I hope to see you in the next session. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing the next session, so it's going to be a surprise to you and to me as well. And hopefully you will catch me live here. If not, if you're watching playback, I hope you enjoy today's session and the chat as well. So from London, with peace and love, night night everyone. I'm going to sign out and have a cup of tea and maybe more coffee, and then I'm going to bed. Night night everyone. Nighty night. Bye.